episode 406 of Global from Asia. Maggie, say hello.
Hello.
All right, so let's go into the show. Maggie will be doing a little intro with me. Let's go.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
We are in 406 shows of Global from Asia podcast. Before Maggie was born, we started this show. Do you know that? The radio show is older than you?
No.
No? What do you want from me? What are you bringing here? What do I have
I bring money
For what?
for Robux.
Robux. I need to buy Robux for you.
Yeah.
All right, you just gotta let me finish this recording, okay?
Okay.
So in today's show, we'll ask Maggie some questions after the little preview in the blah, blah, blah session after David's interview. So in today's show, we have David Caruso. I got connected to him through a listener and friend in the community. Thank you for that. We'll talk about that in the interview. And he has 600 plus websites. I think going for 1,000 e-commerce enabled websites. He's based down in South Thailand, near where I visit, Hua Hin. I do hope to visit him sometimes as well. And he's also coming to Cross Border Summit, super awesome. He's talking about his 1,000 websites of e-commerce, his journey, starting them, becoming one of the top DHL customers in Thailand, shipping around the world. It's a really fascinating one. I learned a few things. We talk about how to manage all these sites, what kind of product selection, email collection, marketing, and everything. So let's tune into the show. After this interview, if you want to hear some questions with my daughter, Maggie, we'll ask her some questions. Okay, you ready, Maggie?
Yeah.
All right, so let's tune into the show. All right, we have Tommy, the sales manager at Cross Better Logistics. How are you, Tommy?
Hi, everyone.
We just got to meet here in Shenzhen, China. It's great. They support the show at Global from Asia, and we also use them ourselves for many of our brands and e-commerce businesses. And Tommy really cares. They always are trying to help us save money. You have some products you keep for us in China. You have some products you keep for us in the U.S. warehouse, and I really appreciate that. And you can talk to this seller, right? You can give them your advice. You work with many Chinese sellers a lot, right? And you can help the sellers understand more.
Yeah, we are very professional for the shipment to USA and Canada. Also, we have warehouse in USA and Canada. We can help our factories, suppliers, sellers for the shipment.
Yes.
Yeah, for the e-commerce business.
Yep, and you even keep stuff in China too. So sometimes if you have the limitations of sending too much to Amazon, you can keep it here in China with Cross Better, or you can send, of course, to the U.S. warehouse. They have many different options, and they're always trying their best to find out what's the best solution for you. So Definitely talk to Tommy, talk to Cross Better, and thank you for your support of the community.
Yes, we have good pricing and better service.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey David, don't forget that you have that interview with Mike.
Wow, that time already?
Yes.
I think I'll do it by the pool. G'day, Mike. How are you, buddy?
So that was quite the entrance, David. Just down the fire pole. So some people not be are listening. I know a lot. This is audio and video podcast, but those that didn't see, but David's in his office, and he just heard about this podcast, and you got a fire. I call it a fire pole. Slid down.
Fireman's pole, yes.
Fireman's pole. There we go. And for this interview, so thanks for joining us, David. How are you doing today?
Yes, buddy. That's I'm great, Mike. Thanks for having me. That's I'm excited to be on the podcast.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we've connected through a common friend, and he's also up here in Chiang Mai. You're down in the south of Thailand, so we're getting more and more content about the about things. But Simon introduced us, Simon Bakker, and he is here. I've having some entrepreneur lunches with him recently, so that's really, really great. But a bit about you. I mean, it seems like you have quite the background from just doing all kinds of entrepreneurship and small and business ventures in your career. But I think we want to highlight today is the e-commerce venture you started with your business, and seems like from what I understand, 2019 you're got a portfolio of 300 plus websites with revenue streams over 7 figures, and I think we can learn a lot from that experience. So thanks for being here, David.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. I'll just correct you on that, Mike. Sorry, 600 plus.
600. Sorry.
Sorry,
I'll update that right now. 600. I think maybe.
And we're heading to 1,000. That's our goal is to get 1,000 this year. So yeah.
Amazing in 32 countries. And I think the highlight I like is you're doing a lot from Thailand with DHL, and you're like the number one exporter based on volume from what I
read. I'll just give you a bit of a background what
let's
happened
hear it.
And how we got here. I'm showing my age now, buddy. That's a 33 year business veteran. So
amazing.
Born and bred in Sydney, born and bred in a place called Blacktown, which is kind of about an hour out of Sydney. And my biggest fear in life was, I was born in Blacktown, raised in Blacktown. I had a business in Blacktown for 20 years. My biggest fear in life was dying in Blacktown. So I had to get out and decide. I've been living in Thailand since 2010. We sold our business in Sydney and retired. I retired at 40. It was one of those kind of lifelong dreams. So amazing. Retirement doesn't last long, mate. It's very boring. I will never retire.
I feel like even if I don't think I'm at the point, unfortunately, but I think even if I got there, I don't see myself stopping, right? Like we're addicted. It's part of our like blood, right? It's like in our DNA.
Always learning. Yeah, exactly right. That's always need to do something. That's boring. Retiring is very boring. So lasted 12 months retiring, got into motivational speaker, being a motivational speaker. Yeah, and because I didn't want to go back into a big business again. I had 50 plus employees back in Australia. That anybody who's had employees or have employees knows the headaches. Actually, I was entertaining a guest just this weekend. Came from Australia, visited me, and he's got about 20 employees, and I can tell. Well, from what he's told me, things haven't changed since I got out, and if anything, it's got worse. But yeah, so employees can be a little bit of a headache.
It's true. It's also a responsibility. It's like a burden, I mean, not in a good way. Of course, they're contributing, but it's pressure as the entrepreneur business owner. It's overhead. It's mostly fixed cost, right? And business is up, business is down. You're still kind of responsible for those people, which is kind of in a way a little bit empowering because you're changing lives, right? You're giving opportunity. You're giving, even educating. They're improving, but of course, it's also, it can be nerve-wracking with a lot of those.
I think you make a valid point there. It is a responsibility, and we used to make our staff family. But I think what you tend to do, and I know we're going off a tangent. We're going to go back to e-commerce in a second. But I think you had these core staff members that you kind of build around. So I had guys with me for 17, 18 years, and they're the ones that you really need to look after. There's going to be some fringe elements that come and go. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's those fringe elements that kind of cause you the headaches a little bit in the stuff. But we'll get off stuff anyway. I wanted to be a motivational speaker because there's no staff. So we traveled the world. We traveled mostly Australia, New Zealand, UK as a speaker. And basically, I was speaking about online marketing, how real world businesses, SMEs, I come from an SME kind of background, small to medium enterprise business, and how they can benefit from online marketing and the internet. So, yeah. But and then around about 2019, so we did that for about 8-9 years and got a bit weary of traveling. So traveling sounds great at the start, but
I agree.
It gets a bit weary.
Yeah, I agree.
So I started my e-commerce journey. I went to Matt Diggity's SEO conference, 2018, Chiang Mai.
It's a great one, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. They're doing it again this year, which I think there's been a 2 or 3 year hiatus for COVID. And whilst I was at the conference, there was all these I call them young whippersnappers. I was 48, 49 at the time. And the kind of genre or the theme I got from that conference was all these young guys, they were making a lot of money, not consulting, not doing stuff for other people, but actually doing the work for themselves. And I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I'm thinking, if you young guys can be making some good money, I think I could probably do all right as well, and with my business expertise and what have you. So I came back to Petrobras, and I said to my wife, darling, 2019, not traveling. We're going to concentrate on building e-commerce sites. So yeah, so I think the first year we did something like about 400,000 revenue. Revenue's a vanity figure, of course. Then we jumped up to something like about 2 million, 2.5 million second year, and we're well over 5 million a year now. So and still growing.
That's great. That's great.
That's really a story to get into e-commerce.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, we'll dig into this now in our talk. So, like, I guess people are always curious, the structure, like you said, we would kind of talking about staff or people, like you said, like, of course, there was 50 overhead there. And, in like, Matt's event, SEO, a lot of these SEO, especially in Chiang Mai, they're like almost, I don't want to offend them, but it's like their job because they do it, but they do it all themselves. But at the same time, it's almost like if you stop, the business stops. And I think so. You must have. I mean, I can't imagine you're doing this with yourself. So you must have a team. And I guess I'm curious just a little bit of how you set that up locally or online.
So we have about a team of 20 plus, and that's a valid point you make. That a lot of people build themselves a job. You've got to. And I suppose at the start, we started with one website. And started with me packing stuff on the dining room table. And we used to have a catch cry. And my wife used to repeat it back to me. So I don't know, the sound the packing tape makes.
Yeah.
Whenever that would happen, I would be yelling out, darling, that's the sound of money.
It is. It makes you think of China, to be honest, the markets, because you hear that all around you. You're walking around and you hear it. And it means it's like the bell. It's like a bell. It's like business. It's like somebody must have ordered something because there's products being bundled and boxed and moved. So 100%.
So we all start there, but it's progressing from there. I didn't want to build myself a job. I wanted to build a business. We're business people at the end of the day. So so the structure at the moment, 20 plus people. We have a warehouse here in Thailand. These are rough numbers, that 10, 14 people in the warehouse.
Wow.
We have 3 or 4 people in the office. We have an office. I call it the corporate office. That's here. You'd see that in the video.
Yeah, the video. People were curious at the beginning.
If you watch that. And then I have VAs. I have Filipino VAs mostly for customer service. I have a great VA in Chiang Mai. She's Filipino. She married a Thai guy.
Nice.
Lives in Chiang Mai.
Cool.
Best VA.
I think I agree with that. Yeah, Filipinos, especially the ones. I mean, I think anybody who lives outside their home country has a different view of the world.
But with staff, we're very big on training as well. So I see a lot of mistakes that, I shouldn't say younger guys, but a lot of the mistakes, newbie business owners, that they think this VA is going to do everything for them. They're going to save their business. Going to you've got to train the VAs, and we're very big on SOP, standard operating procedures. Actually, I'm very proud that just between you and I, Mike, 600 plus websites that I've got. This is how important SOPs are. Most of my staff don't speak English except for the customer service, VAs, Filipinos.
Oh, really?
So my Thai staff, the girls you would have seen in that video, they're making websites. They don't speak English. They're making English websites.
Huh.
So we've got the training down pat, the SOP down pat, that I can have non-speaking people.
That's really amazing.
English-speaking websites. So sorry, that's just between you and I.
Is it? I mean, we can cut it if you want, but
no. I'm joking.
There are some times we cut some parts, but I think that's a great one to keep. Awesome.
Between you and I and your listeners, of course.
No, that's really. Yeah, just a bit about me. I have one assistant or, project manager, I'm starting to call her, in Chiang Mai, local Thai, but the rest are online, mostly in the Philippines, about 15 now. So, yeah.
The great thing of running a business internationally and using Southeast Asia labor, my business and I'm sorry we're going a bit off tangent here, but please cut whatever.
No, I think this is good. We're a business podcast. It's important to learn. HR and people management is a good part.
So my business in Australia, that important in business is to have KPIs, key point indicators. One of the KPIs for us in business, obviously, is wages versus revenue. And I can tell you, my Sydney business would run at 42% wages versus revenue. We're a very kind of service-based business. Wages to revenue for me in Thailand, and obviously using VAs in the field, under 5%. I sometimes 3.5%, 4%. So for me, that is a business advantage that I have over other businesses operating in other marketplaces or operating out of marketplaces. So it's that wages versus revenue.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, KPIs, numbers, dashboards. That's great. I'm sure others are thinking the same thing I'm thinking, and the products are made in. I'm thinking China, but no, are they made here in Thailand or are they in China?
So 95% of our products come from China.
Okay, yeah.
And we are always looking for Thai manufacturers. So we have about 300 SKUs in the warehouse that we're selling directly out of the warehouse. We're always testing new SKUs. We're always testing new websites, testing different products. And maybe it's interesting for your audience that our process, and I know we're jumping all over the place, I apologize, but
no, it's
our
great.
Our process of testing is that we won't buy any product until we've tested the product in a marketplace. So if I find something that I might want to sell, we'll test that product in a non-competitive marketplace, so Ireland, New Zealand, and things like that. And I want to build up a sales history. So, and we'll service those sales, but we might service those sales by sending it direct from Amazon as a gift. Yeah. So Ireland, we'll send it from the UK, Amazon. From New Zealand, we'll send it from Australia, New Zealand. If for some reason we can't send it, we'll refund the money to the customer. Yeah. So sorry, out of stock and what have you. But what I want to try to do is actually build up. I want to build up sales before I start to look from China and then bring it in, because that whole model of bringing the product in and then trying to sell it, some stuff doesn't sell.
I agree. It goes back to my first e-com business. When I was still in New York. Some listeners may remember, but I sold stuff I couldn't even drop ship because they weren't drop shipping them. Okay. And I had to ship. I said, but can I have a wholesale account with you and just buy one piece? They said, yes. So what I did is I ordered it from the wholesaler to my address and then sent it on eBay. And I just told the customers 5 to 7 days. And then I was losing money. Like, probably you don't make money on those sales, but I was learning what products were selling, right? Like you just said, like find a way to test the market without buying a lot of inventory is definitely is a good lesson.
You're finding out what's selling and also at what cost to acquire that customer, because obviously marketing costs is a big expenditure in our e-com business. So not only I want to know what I'm selling, but how much is it costing me to get that sale as well.
Nice. And I don't know, we didn't say it on an interview yet, but it's mostly like shopping, like direct B2C off your website, like your Shopify sites or,
Yeah. So we don't actually use Shopify. I have built a Shopify site before. Now when I say I built it, I build websites. But and now it's the team, but we're non-coders as well. So don't think that we're website experts and we're coding guys. We're marketing people, but we know how to build websites. So we use WordPress. I've built Shopify before, wasn't that impressed. And if I'm running 600 Shopify sites,
I was thinking that would be a lot of money.
Yeah, it'd kill you. So
I'm the same with
WooCommerce. And I'm WordPress, WooCommerce, and I like Divi themes. So we build everything on. There's a thing that sits on top of WordPress called Divi. Yeah. So, and it's very kind of modular and fantastic. Yeah, easy to work with.
I'm assuming B2C, right? Probably B2C, right? Any wholesale?
So mostly B2C, but it's funny because we do get a lot of corporate orders. So in a lot of different products. So we see companies buying off us all the time. So we'll get orders. We had an order the other day. We'll just say it's an air quality monitor thing. They bought 100 of them, $7,000 to Canada. So
great.
So we'll get orders for thousands of dollars, and you can see their companies, but we are initially targeting B2C. Yeah.
Okay, clear. So then I assume you're using DHL and you're shipping so they must be willing to wait for those to come from Thailand to Canada?
Well, this is the great thing about this thing that DHL comes to our warehouse 6 days a week, about 12 o'clock, 12:30. and they go straight to the airport, to Bangkok airport, and then they fly out from there. So that shipment to Canada, 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
I can get anything to anywhere in the world, 3 to 5 days.
That's
7 days maximum.
Definitely reasonable.
So
it's really good.
yeah, so the time period is a non-issue for us and the customer.
Okay, got it. And so we mentioned it, but I think everybody's always curious how you're getting your traffic. It seems like you mentioned paid.
Yep. So we don't do any Facebook advertising. We're hopeless at Facebook.
Yeah,
so we're and listening to I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm always trying to educate myself. This is a fast-changing, fast-paced world we live in as business owners these days. So listening to the Facebook guys, that the ROAS they're getting, they're talking about a 2-to-1 ROAS. Now we talk ad spend to revenue, so it's the same thing. So 2-to-1 ROAS is a 50% ad spend in our circle. Yeah. They talk a 3-to-1 ROAS, 33% ad spend. Man, we're not operating off 33% ad spend. So if I've got a new product that I'm launching, I'll go up to 30% ad spend. But a lot of my sites that are kind of 4 to 5 years old now, SEO's kicked in.
Yeah,
SEO's do it. Some of those sites are 8% ad spend. That thing. So, but most of our channels are, or not most of our channels. So we're very big on SEO, of course, PPC. And shopping when I can get on. So shopping it's a bit difficult these days. Google kind of kicks you off shopping a little bit more. So yeah. So when that happens, we have to rely on PPC and SEO, of course. We have just started YouTube channels, and I think we've got about 300 plus videos up now. So we're using YouTube as an SEO tool to drive traffic. But I every so often I do try Facebook again. Because I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know and your listeners don't know, but there's 2 types of things in this e-commerce world. There's the demand generation and demand capture. So we mostly work in demand capture. Demand generation is the Facebook, the social media guys. They're saying, hey, here's something that might interest you and things. Demand capture, totally different. That's somebody's looking for the product, and all I'm saying is jumping in front of them and say, hey, I've got what you're looking for. And the way, with that thing in mind, the way we design our websites is totally different. So the demand generation guy's website is totally different to the demand capture guy, me, because my website's designed is not to say, this is why you need the product. This is why. All I'm selling on that page is, I know that you've decided you wanted that product. I know you want the product. All my job is on my page is to say, I'm the right person to buy it from, as opposed to my competitors. So me doing Facebook, I'll go back and try Facebook advertising again, but I'll have to do it on a separate website or a separate series of websites and have that demand capture thinking in mind or design in mind, if that makes sense.
I like how you said. I'm similar. I think of it as inbound marketing versus kind of like I guess it's not really outbound, but in a way it's more like outbound. You gotta kind of like get, like you said, create the demand. So they don't maybe know that they want this. So usually it's almost on the product, because if there's like weight loss or, like course coaching is a popular one, or courses. So they have the Lamborghini guy or and they show you they're so rich and successful, or they're so slim, they lost weight, right? Like, that's like, so you get the person on Facebook scrolling, seeing this ad and saying, oh, maybe I need this course, or I need this weight loss pill, right? And they have high margin. They also have huge margin. Point. Whereas if we're trying to sell like a more, like you said, inbound marketing product, we can't really compete because they have like no cost. And they're just pumping ads for their courses or their weight loss pills, and they can go, like you were talking about ROAS, like they can go crazy because it's just pure profit, almost pure profit. It's just ads. So for us selling like normal products, we can't go into that high of a budget. But they need to do that to create the demand, like you said. But we have the demand. People are looking for this. So I'm kind of just saying that as I hear you reinterpreting what you're saying. But that's, I think, another reason Facebook ads, because it's so expensive now. I mean, all the platforms, the ads are just going, even Amazon, we're all complaining. They're all going more and more.
Oh, definitely. So I used to sell courses, and as a speaker, we would sell training courses and things like that. So that series of that journey that I would take the
Yeah,
customer is totally different to an e-commerce demand
exactly.
capture series. So exactly what you said, that we're putting it in front of them. But when you talk about, a lot of these guys are doing demand generation with products that are on Facebook, selling products on Facebook. So away from the digital products. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm feeling that most of the products they sell is almost like correct me, like an impulse buy. That's the word I'm looking
That's
for.
it.
So
Yeah.
it's set at a certain price as well. That I've talked to a few people and they said, $40-$50 impulse buy stuff if you're advertising on Facebook. And a lot of the products we sell are not impulse buy products. So kind
Mm,
of you've got to fit the right product, I think, to the right marketing channel or demand generation, demand
makes
capture
sense.
situation. Yeah.
No, it does make sense, and it's also about scale because if your team, or your product, so your company's more focused on the inbound or the
Mm.
people already looking for it versus, they're really skilled at ads, right? Like I've worked with some, I've done courses in certain times, and yeah, like they're really good at getting email and then the email follow up, right? Like you're just trying to get or to pixel
Yeah.
them and follow them all
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
the
Follow them
internet.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and then keep retargeting.
100%.
But that's a lot. Yeah,
And,
it's a lot of work too. You got to set that
and,
up.
and, and we do that. We do the retargeting thing and we do email marketing as well. So we've got a database of customers, 40,000 plus now. So, they're in a series that, because we have a lot of different brands now, we've got about 33 brands. So I'm
Great,
trying to cross-selling new brands and things like that.
nice.
We have a website, online flash sale. We'll
Okay,
have something that, you know,
that's a nice idea.
36 hours, take advantage of that. We might do an email blast twice a month. So
Great.
but yeah, I think a lot of people get, I hear chatter around, obviously the cost of acquisition for a customer is important. And I see a lot of big companies burn through cash in terms of their marketing. They feel that the cost of acquiring a customer for the first time is a break even. I even hear that sometimes. None of that. I'm a small business. We need to make money. So cost of acquisition for us, like I said, we're running at 20% ad spend. So that's a 5-to-1 ROAS. And
Yeah,
on some websites, like I said, it's down to 8%, which is 12 times ROAS, because that's SEO's kicked in. But like I said, if it's a brand new site, it's a brand new product, and I'm really excited about it, I want to push it a little bit, I'll go up to 30% in terms of ad spend, 3-to-1 ROAS, or 3.3-to-1 ROAS. Hope that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we quite talk a lot about Amazon here, and we've had some experts sharing and in the Amazon space what they take. I don't like to agree, and I have a few brands we do on Amazon, and
Mm.
we don't agree, but basically the story is you just don't make money for like a year, or you just break even, and then then you have a brand, and then you have moat, and then you have and then you can make money.
And that's one of the reasons I like buying off Amazon. It's that whole infrastructure it's a race to the bottom for you guys, or for
Mhm.
for people who are
Sellers,
shopping.
yeah,
Yeah, it's price orientated, race to the bottom, we call it, and it's great because I'll use it as a testing ground to. So if we buy something off Amazon to send to a customer, we'll send it as a gift, so it hides the price to the customer. So,
yeah, I understand. That's good.
but
And
yeah.
then yeah, so I guess it's a good point. How do you choose which product do you like make sure do you look at Amazon as part of your research for your websites? Is that a
Yeah,
factor?
that's a great question. So we can do a number of things, and so we obviously we'll look at Google Trends. We'll do some keyword research, look for some volume, Google Trends to see what countries this particular product's things. We'll look on Amazon to see if there's a lot of reviews and seeing if it is selling a lot and what kind of reviews, because the product is the same as most things. We might make changes to the product if we eventually buy it from China and make it a small difference to the product to help our USP, unique selling proposition. But yeah, so we do a lot of research. But sometimes, that's something that I think is going to, this is going to be a great product. This is going to be a great product. It just doesn't sell. It doesn't sell well. So, and then something that's left field that you think, oh, it goes well. So the real test, you can do as much research as you want, but the real test is actually putting it out there and trying to sell it.
I agree. It's a little bit of a niche question. I don't know if, so you got me thinking with all your sites, are you able to leverage the same email database? Because I know they opt in when they to newsletter, but could you cross email between those sites or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So nobody opts in because, well, you kind of opt in once you buy. So it's not, we're not collecting email addresses. The only email addresses we have, 40,000 plus from buyers. So we use ActiveCampaign, and an ActiveCampaign kind of hooks into our website. So, if they become a customer, they're into ActiveCampaign. And then they go into an 18-month flow. I call it 18-month flow, but we're always adding to it. It might be up to 24, 26. I just want to touch that touch that customer once a month minimum. So on the third day of every month, they get another offer.
Nice.
So, yeah. And we kind of, so even our branding, that they know it's, because the first line always in every email that they get, thank you for buying this product. Here is another offer that we think you might be interested in. So
nice.
They go through
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of like, because of course 300 websites and growing is a huge
600, Mike.
600. 600,000. Well, 1,000. So I'm thinking, I'm wondering, I'm wondering, are they single product sites or neat category sites, like everything sites? Are you selling the same products on multiple sites, or is it, are you competing with yourself?
Great question, Mike. I'm going to let you in some trade secrets here.
I feel like I'm digging, but I don't know. Whatever I'm willing to get out of you, I'd love to.
No, that's fine, mate. So we do have a lot of single product sites, but single products, maybe 2 or 3 products. So really specialist sites, and then we have some general sites like lawn sites, lawn care sites. We have a clearance warehouse site that has, say, 100 products. The websites that really go well, if we've got a product and we've got a couple of products that are really top sellers, we will compete against ourselves under a different brand. So whether whether your audience says, Dave, that's good or bad, well, I'm going to leave it up to your audience to decide. But just let me suggest to you that big businesses have been doing it forever. So I don't know much about America, but I can tell you in Australia that if you fly with Qantas to Bangkok and pay a certain price, and if you fly with Jetstar to Bangkok and pay a certain price, you're flying with the same company. That insurance companies, if you buy from this insurance company in Australia and you buy from it's really the same company. So if I buy from a hardware shop some supermarkets, some supermarket brands, it's all under the same company. The chocolate brands, you buy different types of chocolates, it's all the same.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
big business has been doing it.
It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I bring up, like, even when I was learning about drop shipping in the US, like I think somebody told me, but even Verizon, which is a big carrier, you buy the router from them, but it's not even, they maybe stick a logo on it, but it's just another router sent directly from another supplier. It's nothing to do with that company. They're just telling this company, put my logo on it and ship it to my customer. And it might be, like you said, it's more money just because you bought it from their website, or you were forced to buy it part of your contract or whatever from their business. So this has been really fascinating, David.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So we'll compete against ourselves quite often, and we'll dominate. You search for a particular keyword, and there's I'll have 3, 4. So it's not good enough to appear on page 1 of Google with one spot, because you're competing against shopping, images, videos, sometimes ads, and then SEO. There's about 20 or 30, 20 different things, a place that a person can click. So I want to make sure that if you search for that keyword, I've not got one spot out of 20, which is a 5% chance of getting the click. Nothing happens unless I get the click, unless I get the visitor to my site. I'm going to have 4 or 5 spots on that page that maybe in different brands, and maybe even test different price structures as well, because this brand might be more of a budget brand. It's the same product between you and I, but this one might be things, because Jetstar versus Qantas, it's the same product. It's getting you from A to B. It's just giving you a different level of service. We give good service. doesn't matter either. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
I get it. I guess maybe a little more, maybe it's a trade secret, but are you setting up multiple companies, multiple merchant accounts, or is it all through like one Stripe, one PayPal? Or
No. Great question. So just one company structure. So one company structure having different brands. You don't have to set up multiple companies to run different brands. Just this year, we've actually moved our company to Thailand. Only because Stripe has kicked in Thailand.
Nice.
In the past, a year ago, you'd have to have a Western company to take Stripe payments. So in the past, I would run 50% in Australia because that's my Stripe payments went through Australia, 50% in PayPal, 50% in Thailand because PayPal. But now that Stripe has opened up in Thailand, we can send money directly to our Thai bank accounts. Since January, we've been running one company structure, multiple brands in Thailand. And you could do this in America. You can do this in Australia, UK, wherever your listeners think. You don't have to open up multiple companies to run different brands.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. And I mean, I'm lucky I have a Stripe in Hong Kong. So I've been using Stripe Hong Kong mostly. But yeah, it is true. It's also about, I think people have to decide where they can get their financial solutions like banking and merchant accounts. But that's great to clarify. So I think, we're getting towards the wrap up. I think listeners got a lot. I mean, some highlights that I can recall from, tips is like know your numbers, like, ROAS, know how much cost per acquisition, KPIs, how much you're spending to your burn on your employee overhead, which is good. So I got those highlights. Of course, some highlights towards the end we just talked about was like maybe try multiple brands, different price points. One I might try is, because I always thought you had to keep the email list separate between the different websites. But I think, maybe cross, because of course the database is valuable. So if you're able to like cross promote, I think that's cross pollinate.
Yeah. That's so. Even I've run promotions for friends to our database. And if they buy they buy off our friends' websites, things that person then goes into their database. You can't break the law. There is a law. There's certain email laws that I can't give my database to somebody else. Of course, there's that whole privacy issue.
Yeah. But if they're buying within your sites, so then I guess it's okay.
100%.
I guess
100%.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and they can also always unsubscribe.
Yep. Okay, and so also it's exciting news. You're going to be coming to our cross-border summit in Chiang Mai in November 16th, 17th. I'm excited to have you there, and it'll be a great session. Actually, it's right after SEO. Matt's event is the week before, and then
so I'm going to Matt's event, and then Simon, our colleague, to each other. He sent me an email and says, "Oh, Dave, I think this is in your wheelhouse because we're, as much as what we do and what we think we know, there's always stuff that we don't know.
So much.
And I love talking to other business people because that's coming to a conference like yours. I'm going to get so much value and from the speakers, from listening to other, but also just at the bar or just
I think that's
bouncing off around.
That's the best for sure. Is that between sessions? Everyone says the people you meet, the relationships, people all around the world. So it's going to be a pleasure. And I know we want to visit South, come down South to see your operation sometime soon.
Well, you're welcome. Bring a film crew. I'm happy to walk you guys through that.
Yeah, we can do a little video. That'd be fun. I'll get you
to slide down the fireman's pole.
Yeah, I got to get the clip of that. That's really cool. I want a video of that. All right, David. Also have people connecting with you, websites, links.
Well, I've really got nothing to say. I don't do any consultation. I'm going to get back as a speaker. That we're going to just a bit of a mind twist. That one of my new presentations that I'll be doing and just working on at the moment is that how we sell 44 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we think there's only 24 hours in a day, but our company sells 44 hours a day. Is that a bit of a mind twist?
Yeah.
Mind twister?
Yeah.
And how we work 44 hours a day is that, at 6 o'clock Thailand time, that it's 12 p.m. New Zealand time. So that's when the day starts in New Zealand. And then so 6 p.m. Thailand time, it goes right through to obviously midnight Thailand. And then it's the full day And a day and a half later, our day ends at Los Angeles time, midnight, which is 2 p.m. Thailand, day and a half later. So pretty much that period is 44 hours. And we're selling for 44 hours during our day.
Yeah.
So every day that we sell, we sell for 44 hours.
I like
so,
that. I like that.
Bit of a mind twister.
I'm interested to hear that one. Great.
So, but we'll give a plug because when we started this business, e-commerce business, that we've kind of got two prongs to this business. Obviously, it's the e-commerce that we're running as a business, and now that we're 4 to 5 years in, I'm starting to focus on the second prong. I have my wife. My wife is the CEO of Ecommerce and runs that, and very smart lady, and runs runs the business amazingly. So the prong I'm kind of starting to go off is we're going to start selling these e-commerce businesses to newbie companies. We've reached out to Empire Flippers and different marketplaces. But I've actually created a website myself, and I've got so many websites. I have to write down the website address.
I know.
To make sure
I'm similar. I think you're above me, but I'm also. People always say I have too many websites. It's a common comment. But yeah, or you can send it to me. I'll put it in the notes of our.
I'll send a link.
Yes,
but the website is onlinebusiness.market. So if anybody wants to go onlinebusiness.market, and I'll send you the link, Mike, so you can put in the show notes.
Sure.
They can get some websites. Some websites that are a couple of years old, only making a few $1,000s. Some are years old, $50,000-$60,000. So there's a website for everybody if they're looking, and for different marketplaces as well. So obviously we have websites in Ireland, websites in New Zealand, South Africa, Europe.
I like it.
Canada, US. Anyway.
I like that a lot.
So onlinebusiness.market. That's my plug for today.
All right. Welcome. Thank you for that, David. All right. And I look forward.
Mike, I look forward to meeting you in person. That hopefully in Phetchaburi, if not in Chiang Mai when we come to the conference.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David.
So, Michael, thank you very much, and Kop Kun Krap, that I've enjoyed the session.
Yes, so much. And you came in through the fireman's pole. Maybe you can send off with the.
I'm going to go to lunch.
All right. Have a great
lunch.
See you
later.
See you, David. That's cool. I'll check that. It's going down to fireman's pole. All right. See y'all later. Keep it fun here. And thank you to our sponsor, our returning sponsor, Mercury.com, online bank. Well, it's a real bank, but you can do it totally online for US. Our Blimp program participants are going through this as well. Thank you, Mercury. Travis is great there. He's been on our shows, been in our events. We're going to have another event where we will have them attending as well. And if you want to get a little bonus for you and us, if you sign up and do some special circumstances, you can go to globalfromasia.com/Mercury. I also have a video tutorial that we use even for the Blimp people. I use the same exact video to learn how to use it. I hope you can check it out. Totally free. Why not? See you there. Thank you so much, David, for sharing. That was a fun one. He's got the fire pole entrance, so that's really cool. So, Maggie, what's your favorite game?
Roblox.
Why?
Because it has all of the games. You don't need to even spend your money just on Robux.
But you're spending money. I have your allowance and your points, all this Thai bots and even IOUs and borrowing money. But that's money, right?
Yeah. So all of the games are for free. Just Robux.
The games are. So why do you need Robux?
Even Poppy Playtime's free.
If they're all free, why do you need the Robux? What do you need the Robux for?
For buying like this game stuff, but you can play the game, but if you want to be rich, you can buy some.
You want to be rich, Maggie?
And adopt me, though. What is it?
Adopt me.
Yeah, it's like a game in Roblox.
All right. So do you have friends in Roblox? Blocks?
Yes, even Lay, my real friend.
Your real life friend too. Yeah. You're friends with in Roblox.
Even
Nora too. Great, you got lots of friends in there. Awesome. Okay, Maggie. Well, I will buy your Robux after this recording. Thank you everybody for watching. We're really looking forward to seeing you at the Cross Border Summit here. Maggie will stop by, maybe not the whole time, coming to our event.
Yeah.
And lots of other amazing people. Thank you so much again for watching. Have a great day. Say bye. Bye-bye.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.